Welcome to episode 397 of the Geeks for the Win podcast, the tech and gaming podcast from GeeksFTW.com, where we cover all things geeky. I'm your host, William McDonald, and I'm joined with my co-host, Stuart.
Known across the internet as Casual Terror.
We are back. This week we're going to do a movie TV episode, but I can't wait. I got to talk about the Tony Hawk demo.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that. The Tony Hawk 1-2 like remaster, whatever, like coming out September 4th. It's 1 and 2 remastered, but it's not just 1 and 2. They are taking the more streamlined mechanics that you remember from the series that was introduced in 3 and 4, and they're adding it to it so it doesn't feel outdated, you know. So that was one of the very first things that, you know, fans of Tony Hawk heard, got excited about. The demo is just the warehouse, which is, you know, probably the most iconic level in Tony Hawk. It's the very first level for for Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It's 2 minutes long. There's no you're just running the court. You're just, it's just the warehouse. There's no like challenges or anything like that. Like skate isn't available to collect, anything like that. It's a pretty bare bones demo. There's like 4 songs. Let me see if I can look these up. Of course, the most iconic song, Superman by Goldfinger.
Right.
Which, there's supposed to be, let me tie this into movies and TVs or stuff. There's supposed to be a documentary based on the Tony Hawk, game series called, Pretending I'm a Superman, I think. You look that up too. I can't remember when it's supposed to come out. Or actually where it's supposed to come out, I think. Okay, here we go. THPS, Tony Hawk Pro Skater Film.com. On digital, August 18th. It's going to be available iTunes, YouTube, Xbox, Prime Video, DirecTV. Well, I don't even know what 2 of these are. Vubiquity and iDemand. I don't recognize these at all, Stuart.
No.
Here's the link.
Nope.
Like, maybe like, just so you can see. Like, I'm not making this up. There's 2 like services that they have listed. That that's what they are.
I believe you, but yeah.
Yeah, it's the skateboarding industry was. I'm reading the synopsis of it real quick. The skateboarding industry was going through a major crisis in the early '90s. Popularity nosediving and the certainty of skaters' livelihoods unknown. But that was all about to change with the induction of the X Games and the debut of the world's most influential game franchises. 1999, the video game Tony Hawk Pro Skater shook the world, and it sold 9 million copies upon release, and that's a lot for back then. That's a lot. Wow. Like, there's a lot of games that don't sell 9 million now that are like big AAA games. That they get excited when they sell like 4 million or 5 million, you know. Was it 9 million upon release and changed the skateboarding scene forever, complementing the reboot of the beloved Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1-2 games in 2020. Pretending I'm a Superman tells a story behind the game that changed lives and shaped a generation. So that I'm kind of excited about that. That's kind of a cool thing. Like, Tony Hawk, the games really got me into skateboarding, like, because I actually did skateboard. Was never good at it, but I did it for like
I've been on a
junior high and high
skateboard.
school. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't mean like, oh, I used to ride a skate. No, I like would go to the skate park and I would like try to do tricks and stuff like that and try to street skate.
See,
We would
I
get
could
kicked
never
out of
get
like,
past I can never get past like a crack in the pavement. Like that's kind of where I
you don't,
like a
that's why you don't
pebble.
drive over a crack in the pavement. You like maneuver around it. No.
I would like you to introduce you to the roads of Indiana, where
Yeah.
you don't not a crack, not in pavement. That's I don't know what that means. I honestly don't know what
See, we would.
a smooth pavement looks like.
You never actually ride your skateboard for transportation. At least like street skaters and stuff like that don't like. You go to like we would go to like bank parking lots and stuff like that. Where there's like weird like structures and stuff to skate on, and we would get typically the security would come out and kick us out or say, hey, come back when we close, and we'd be like, okay. And then what was it, there was actually a skate park that got built in our city. What was it, around probably when I was in 8th or ninth grade, something like that. Um, I actually broke and dislocated my right wrist at the same time, from skateboarding.
Yeah, that's another reason why I just never got into anything like that because
It's never
um,
felt the same. Like
I
my
break
wrist has
easily.
never felt the same since. Yeah, my wrist
Yeah,
has never felt the same since.
they did actually build a skate park in my hometown. Um, I know it's just definitely been since I've moved. So since at least 2013, 14 ish, at least since then.
Yeah, this was like I said, I was probably when I was in like 8th or ninth grade, so that would have been 2000, like 2003 or 4.
I definitely knew
God,
skaters, and they like
that's so
I
long
knew
ago.
I knew like I knew the people who worked at the at at the vans at the only van store in town, and
Oh, we didn't have a
yeah,
van store. We had to go to Oklahoma City to actually get like, skate stuff. Because we had a skate park, but there's nothing skate related you can buy in our city.
there was a skate store in my town. I don't know why, but there was.
We eventually got one, but then it didn't last too long. But like for the longest time, it's like if you wanted to get skate stuff, you had to either order it online, and online ordering wasn't the norm as it is now back
Right.
then. And so it was like you wait till you end up going to OKC, which is like 90-minute drive. But it's I've put at least like Epic Games. I don't think their store like tracks. I don't think their client tracks right, because I know I've played a lot longer than it says I have. I know I've played at least like 2 hours, and it's like, oh, you've played for an hour and 9 minutes. I'm like, bullshit. Like, I know I've played a lot longer than that. Um, and it's just I'm just having so much fun with it, just trying to do combos and trying to do what I used to do, where it's like, trying to get the highest run score you can get. So it's like, oh, you mess up, oh, I'm trying this big trick, this big combo thing. I messed. Okay, well, I'm gonna start over so I have a better, and just that there was a lot of starting over in Tony Hawk Pro Skater, at least for me. Where like I would mess up within like the first 10 minutes, and I'm like, well, that's not gonna be the run. Start over, stuff like that. It's it's so much fun. There's only four. I was gonna look that up. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I was literally just on it and I hit close.
for the new song. There's a new song. I'm guessing it's a new song. "Afraid of Heights" by Billy Talent. I don't know who that is, but "Superman" by Goldfinger. "Gorilla Radio" by Rage Against the Machines. That's the one
Yeah,
I was trying to think of. Yeah, that's like everyone knows that song.
right.
And then "Lose Control" by Tyrone Briggs. I'm not sure if that's a newer one or not, but they've got a lot of the original tracks, like almost all the original tracks, and then they have like I want to say I saw it was like 30 something new tracks added that like either new or new to the series, because I think they went back and they like asked some of these pro skaters like what songs would you have added, or what, stuff like that, so they could actually get like true, the true feeling music to it. And it seems like they put a lot of work and effort into this remake. It's which good on them, because I've heard the same thing with is this the same team that did the like Crash remake?
Not sure.
uh But I mean, we've had the Spyro remake, which people have loved, the Crash remake stuff, which people have loved, and now
Mm-hmm.
this, which looks like it's gonna be pretty good, and just like at least something's going right over at Activision, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at least there's some good coming out of it. I think the highest score I got was just shy of 500,000. Which I'm rusty because I've haven't played this in so long, but I'm starting to really learn how to do certain moves and stuff again. And the kind of the weird thing is they're bringing back a lot of the old skaters from the first two games, of course, but they're supposed they only have Tony Hawk to play in the demo, but supposedly the rest are like, they're all supposed to look like what they look like now, not what they look like back then.
Right. Yeah. I did watch a little bit of somebody play the Tony Hawk demo. Like, man, Tony looks old.
He doesn't look that bad though. Like,
No, but he looks old.
yeah, he does, but
He definitely looks like a dad on a skateboard, which he is.
but I want to say, like, I also saw like a article where he was talking about like, yeah, the gaming the game series, like that made his career, like that gave him
Oh, sure,
the
absolutely.
fame, and and just the opening, like the opening to the demo is like this montage of like the skater like real life skaters and stuff like that, where they're showing like footage and stuff, and they're and then it slowly introduces all the skaters that are in the game, at least the older ones, and it's like, oh, here's Tony Hawk, and here's Bob Burnquist, and here's Bucky Lassick, and here's Kareem Campbell, and here, just like, here's all these iconic skaters that, from.
Tony and Bob are the only two I remember.
See, I want to say Bucky Lassick had his own video game, I want to say.
Was there a skater named
I'm looking
Chad
this
as
up.
well?
Chad Muska, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember him too.
Was it Bucky Lasek that had his? There was another skateboarder who had a who had a skateboarding game, and it just didn't like. What is it? Anyways, and then there was of course, there was the Matt Hoffman BMX game that was like all right, but it just
It was fun.
wasn't. It was fun for what it was, yeah, but like it's not like it became this franchise. It was just like the one, I think. Maybe there was a second. I can't remember.
I think there was a couple.
Anyways,
Shaun
it.
White was the skateboarding person with a skateboarding game.
I know he had a snowboarding game. Did he have a skateboarding game?
Yes, he did.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't remember Shaun White actually skateboarded before he decided to snowboard and win Olympic medals. Jesus, is he only 33?
Who?
Wow. Shaun White?
No way. Dude's my age? No.
Because I want to say he was winning like gold medals like
Holy
when I
shit.
was like
Yeah, he's
in
no
high school or
he's a year older than me.
wow.
Holy shit.
Don't you just hate people who are like super talented at stuff and you think there's clearly have to be a lot, they have to be this certain age
Right.
because they've accomplished so much in their life. Oh, wait, they're my age.
Yeah.
No, I hate you. I hate you, Shaun White. No. I'm kidding. Um yeah, Shaun White, he's had a lot. But anyways, back to the game, the demo. It's the I think you mentioned this how like, oh yeah, you only get to listen to the music for like 2 minutes at a time or what, and
Right.
then like the music continues to go like even when you go to the main menu or when you
Okay, cool.
it's it just keeps on continuing to go. You're able to select certain songs you don't want to listen to, and I think that was available in the original. I can't remember though. This was like 21 years ago, so
Well, I actually played the first Tony Hawk game like maybe a year ago. I don't know. I don't think so.
I
But
heard someone
what for
mention that,
one thing,
so that's why I'm not quite sure. I haven't looked up
it's
myself, but
better. It's better than the Nintendo 64 version of the music because they were only 30 seconds of the music, and they were
oh,
on loop,
oh,
and they looped it for the full 2 minutes. So
okay,
it was
that's
just
rough.
a cut up version of each track, 30 seconds, and then they
Now,
looped it for 2 minutes.
is that a licensing issue or is that uh cartridge limitation
I think
issue?
it was a cartridge issue because
Okay,
it was a
see.
it was on a cartridge.
Gotcha. Yeah, um, yeah. I
And
played it
I
on
want to say
PlayStation,
like
so
there are playlists of the Nintendo 64 version of each of the songs because like so many people played, Tony Hawk on Nintendo 64, so that's the version of the song they remember. Just like most people don't know how the song Superman ends because they always finish
really,
the
wow. Okay. See, I never played it on. I can't. I can't imagine playing it on that controller.
yeah.
That feels like an. No. I played it on PlayStation like because I had an N64, but then I played I played some of the stuff on it, some of the most notable stuff, and then I don't know, I got a PlayStation and just never really did much with the N64. But yeah, I played one through Thug 2, and then
Thug
I don't
1,
know, then I just kind
best
of
Tony Hawk game.
I my favorite's got to be 3. I love Tony Hawk 3 so much. It was so good. But because I think 3 the first on the
PlayStation 2, yeah.
yeah, I think 3 was on the first on the PlayStation 2, so the graphics were a lot better.
Yeah. And 3 was actually when they started getting silly with a lot of the goals. Like three was
Ooh.
the, you know, uh, manual over this cow poop kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean that was just the humor, the skater humor and stuff back then. Because that was when Jackass and all that stuff was starting to
Yeah.
become a thing, and
And then
was
it got
it
really
yeah.
bad in Thug 2, and that's kind
Oh,
of
the
where I
Bam
kind of
Margera
fell off
game
with with Bam Margera.
where
And
you had to
that's
chase
where I fell
around
off.
Bam Margera's dad who was naked or almost naked, and yeah, that was like the gameplay was solid for Thug 2 though. It was still like
Sure.
the gameplay was still good, but yeah, the story stuff was pretty ridiculous. Yeah, they pumped out those games like crazy because what is it? Tony Hawk 3 came out in 2001, and Tony Hawk 1 came out in 99. I don't remember them being pumping them out that quickly, but they were solid levels. I mean, maybe it was just maybe the levels were just not that difficult for them to design and stuff like that. I remember, God, they had a. I don't know. Anyways, back to the demo real quick. You can skip the songs, like whatever current song you're playing, without having to go into the menu by clicking R3 on the controller, which that's the right thumbstick for
Mm-hmm.
anyone who doesn't know. Because R3 isn't really referred to as much as a lot of the other buttons. The L3 and R3s aren't really referred to that much because some games don't really do anything with the the clicks. But
Right.
anyways, that's good. There looks like there's an XP system, or there is an XP system. You're able to gain XP and level up, but like you can't really do anything in the demo with it. But I heard someone speculate that it might be cool if you can like unlock, like there might be like a like battle pass system where you can unlock like skateboard decks and stuff like that from gaining XP and doing, stuff like that. And I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. Like,
You
instead of
know,
just earning cash and buying them like you used to in the games.
people think, including myself, until I just look at this list, that like there hasn't been like many Tony Hawk games recently. But no, they never fucking stopped.
Oh,
People
there
just
was a
weren't talking
bunch,
about them.
yeah. Like,
People just weren't talking about them.
because they were not good. Like, uh, was it the like Tony Hawk Ride
Right.
where they had the
Tony Hawk
Wasteland? I
Shred.
never played
Tony
that.
Hawk Shred Session. Tony Hawk Motion. No, you've never heard of those fucking games.
Well, some
Tony
of them
Hawk
were like
Skate
the Wii
Jam.
ports, right? Like, I think some of those were Wii ports of the. But yeah, Skate Jam. Was that a console? Or like, they made a lot of mobile
That was
games
that was
recently, I
actually the
think.
last Tony Hawk game that came out. That this
Which one?
might be a mobile game. Yeah, Skate Jam.
Yeah. I thought the last one was Tony Hawk 5.
That was in 2015. Skate Jam came out in 2018.
What is Skate? Oh, that's the yeah, okay, that's the mobile one. Gotcha.
That's the mobile game.
Okay, yeah. Which, like, a mobile skateboarding game, I don't really count as a real skateboarding game because
Well, when you look up Tony Hawk games, you get a list that's on the list.
I gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm happy about this. I think they could add 3 and 4 stuff as like DLC,
Yeah.
and I think people would be absolutely fine with that. It's what is it? It's like I think it's $40, so it's not even a full 60, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up. I'm not quite sure how much it is.
I think you're right. I
Weirdly,
don't think it's a full price game. Yep.
weirdly enough, it's on. Oh wait, digital deluxe is $49.99. So yeah, $39.99 for the regular. Weirdly enough, it's on Epic Game Store.
Yeah, I had to look up where this demo was because I looked on Steam and it's not there.
Yeah, and it's Activision still, so that's kind of weird. I guess I don't know. I don't know what's weird anymore. Like we're living in 2020. I mean, life is just a cruel joke at this point. Um,
I saw a TikTok the other day. I was like, man, with all the stuff that is going on in 2020, you could tell somebody that the trees have started eating people, and people just go, it's 2020. Like we've stopped being surprised.
I mean,
because of 2020.
And the crazy thing is, the crazy thing now is, pandemic, all this. Oh yeah, hand sanitizer. People are using like crazy. It's so hard to get. Oh now
people are
so
drinking
many
it.
hand sanitizers.
Whatever.
Well, no, now so many hand sanitizers. It's revealed they have some sort of like poison behind it.
And people are still drinking it.
They're being
people
recalled.
Are drinking it still.
I don't see the drinking, but I've seen like
the
FDA has come out and they have said a lot. This was a lot of different brands that
was like a month ago, dude.
I believe it.
Like, come on.
I believe people
have
been drinking. I mean, there's.
That was like a month ago, dude.
It's come out even more. Even more different has come out. Like I'm seeing new articles about it. Like there's even more hand sanitizers that are being linked to this, which is just like, that's just not even fair. Like, come on now. Like, but
just put your hands in your pockets and don't touch anything. That's just don't touch anything.
Yeah, people do dumb stuff. People drink rubbing alcohol. Like,
yeah,
you want to get to dumb people stuff, go to what was that site? People at Walmart.com or something like that. Like,
oh yeah.
Before Reddit was as big as it is, like there was that site where you just go and you just see like humanity at its worst. Like, but anyways, yeah. So there's I'm loving it. I keep finding myself playing it, more and more. And it's just the 2-minute demo, and I can't wait for the August 18th, for the documentary, pretending I'm a Superman. I'm excited about that. Yeah, the Tony Hawk series is definitely one of my like favorite game series ever. To be honest, like I used to play those so much and have so much fun with them, and it broke my heart when they stopped making games like that were good. And looks like, hey, they're hopefully with this 1 and 2, and then hopefully DLC for 3 and 4, they'll start to, you know, really get a sense of how the game should be, and then maybe they can make a new Tony Hawk game. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, that's I I really got nothing on what I've been watching. So, what have you been watching, Stuart?
Okay. Well, I have been watching some things, and one of the things will shock you. Will shock you in general.
Okay.
Um, I have been watching. Well, okay, I watched a couple documentaries. The first one is called "The Speed Cubers." It's on Netflix, and it's all about the speed Rubik's cube people,
Gotcha.
and it was kind of like following like two of the top speed cubers. One of them is Australian, and the other one is American.
I I
But he's
don't like that
autistic.
name. It just doesn't sound right. Speed
What?
cubers, like
Well,
speed cubers. It sounds like what people would say to make fun of these people. Like I don't know. It
it's
just
not.
I'm just speed
Uh,
cubers. Yeah, just weird. But yeah, go ahead.
it's about 40 minutes long. It's not long at all. It was kind of interesting. It was yeah, kind of like the 2019 World Championship, whatever. It was. I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, you should go watch this because it was just a. This is a neat thing.
Yeah, there's a like once you can figure out the algorithm behind solving the Rubik's cube, it's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
simple.
yeah. That was kind of like one of the like there was like a guy from like Yale, I think. I was like, yeah, there's like so many different algorithms, and it's just how fast a person's mind can then, you know, do the algorithm. And holy shit, are they
Easiest way?
fast?
Oh, really? How like yeah, like they're like what they can solve them in like under 10 seconds, right? Something crazy
Oh,
like
they were
that.
going like 6 seconds, 6 7 seconds.
Yeah.
And like
It's just
one of the guys, the autistic kid, he has like every single world record
oh wow.
for like he's got the world record for like the 3x3, the 4x4, 5x5, one handed. He's got like them all.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember I remember when Rubik's cubes were pretty popular again back in like the late 90s, early
Yeah,
2000s, I think.
yeah.
And then they tried making like different Rubik's cubes because they're like, oh, if the regular Rubik's cube is popular, let's make variants of them. And they never. That I just thought they were dumb.
Well, like they're in the world championships. You got
Like
the
they tried to make electronic Rubik's cubes where they were lights and
no,
stuff like, and I'm just like, this is stupid.
yeah.
Don't know why y'all doing this dumb stuff.
How about a triangle instead of a cube? Because that was also one of them that was kind of shown. briefly, but it wasn't focused on. But yeah, it was just kind of neat.
Yeah, that's
The other documentary that I watched, and this one to shock you, I watched The Last Dance.
oh, okay.
It was
I mean,
interesting.
it's just a good documentary, whether you like basketball or not. Like, just it's
Yeah,
so well made.
it was good. It was good. And like I'm
And it gives you a lot
watching.
more context of what happened. Like, because, we lived through that craze. Granted, we were
Yeah,
young, but like, I do remember I do remember watching, you know, th- the finals and, or at least the second half of their three-peat, their second three-peat. I remember watching the first three-peat. I was way too young, but
yeah. I watched them in like the clips that were shown of them playing basketball. I'm like, I never see this when I watch basketball. I never see stuff like this. I always see the okay, we're gonna stop here and we're gonna dance around each other for a minute, and then we're gonna shoot and either hit or miss, and we're gonna run to the other end, we're gonna go to the other side and dance around each other for a little bit, and then shoot and either hit or miss. Like whenever I watch it, it's boring as hell. But like I watch it here, I'm like, basketball looks interesting. I'm like, I know that's not true.
oh yeah,
I know I know it's boring as hell. So this is
no,
confusing.
basketball is interesting. It just
No,
depends on like which teams are playing
no,
and how they're
it's
playing
just
and with the coaches, because the coaches have different styles and some coaches are boring as hell and they don't ever change their rotation once they have a certain rotation of players. They never change it. That's how the Thunder were with our last coach. When he was set on, yeah, this is how it's gonna be. We're gonna have these players play, and we're gonna switch it out this and do this, and doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it doesn't work against this team. We're just gonna stick with it. But anyways, yeah, it's crazy to think like how successful the Bulls were, how big of a dynasty they were. They not that many teams win 3 championships in a row, and they were I think they were I think they're the only ones to do it twice,
oh,
if not.
okay.
I think the only other one I could think of was maybe is what's his name, anyways, because you look at like present day, like when the Golden State Warriors were like the biggest team in the world, and then they added like Kevin Durant, and they were like, oh my God, they're gonna be unstoppable. Only they didn't win 3 in a row. Because it's like basketball players now have such egos where they like won't stick with a team if things start to get a little rocky. They decide, oh, we're gonna switch. I'm gonna switch and go over here, or let's go team up over here, and then it may work or it may not, and then they leave, and you don't have teams like the Bulls who like drafted Michael Jordan. They drafted a lot of these other people, and then yeah, they did get some pieces like Dennis Rodman, and you know, but like for the most part, like they were built from the ground up for the most part. It's not like, yo, let's have these three of the top best players in the world. Let's all go to Miami. You know?
See, this is kind of how I kind of remembered basketball in the 90s. Every like named player that I knew, oh, they're on the Bulls. Okay, yeah, they were on the Bulls except for Reggie. I knew Reggie was a Pacer. Right?
Oh, I was
That
about
was
to say,
it.
yeah, you have to know that. Like,
That,
you,
that's it.
you'd be kicked out of Indiana if you didn't know that.
Yeah, that was. I was like, I knew Reggie Miller was a Pacer. That was it. But everybody else, they were, Patrick Ewing. Oh yeah, he was on the Bulls. Charles Barkley, yeah, he was on the Bulls.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that's me. That's me.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Every like named
I don't.
player. It's like, oh yeah, no, yeah, they're on the Bulls. Oh yeah, they were on the Bulls. It was like, because that was somebody who
Also,
doesn't follow basketball. Everybody was on the Bulls.
you should also have known Larry Bird, right? Like he didn't play for the Pacers, but he's from
I
Indiana, right?
don't. Well, he was the coach. Like I
Well,
don't
yeah, he was a coach, but like,
like
yeah,
that's how I remember Larry Bird is as a coach, not a player.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, see, I've watched a lot of like basketball documentaries or, of like, hey, it's the Dream Team documentary and no this is, so I've seen a lot of like stuff on the older, like the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, like early Michael Jordan, that type of era, you know. So I've watched a lot of stuff on that, even though I never saw like Larry Bird play. I still have seen like documentaries and highlights and like yeah, he was pretty good. Yeah, there's a reason why it was for a while. It was like, oh yeah, it's either Larry Bird's gonna and the Celtics are gonna win or Magic
There's
Johnson and the Lakers are gonna win.
there's a reason that there is a Larry Bird versus Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan video game.
Yeah. Uh, I just but like how big they were and how popular they were. I can't like and even now like I don't think this would ever happen where the general manager would be able to break a team like that up.
Yeah,
If that was going on today, that general manager would be fired and they would
I
re-sign
don't know why he
everybody and bring
wasn't.
and
Like I don't know why that guy wasn't
bring it.
fired. Like yeah,
I
he
mean,
brought them together, but like nobody seemed to like him. Like that's kind of like how
I
I
mean
get
they
from that documentary. Like nobody seemed to like him.
yeah. Oh, I mean, it's not. I mean, you did see some of the celebration with him in it. Like they, they all celebrated somewhat, and they
Yeah, but
at
every time it was
times.
kind of
But yeah,
shown, he just kind of seemed to be the fat white guy in the group saying, "Oh yeah, I did this. Yeah, I did this when he did nothing."
it was
So
it was you could the thing that definitely came across was the dislike between him and oh, Phil Jackson. Like that was undeniable.
oh yeah,
The dislike between those two. Like
oh
you could
sure,
definitely see like when Michael Jordan was talking, he definitely like would say positive things about the GM Jerry Krause, I think his name was. Um,
yeah. I remember
stuff like that. There
Jerry was his
definitely
first
were
name.
yeah, there's definitely positive things other people said about him, and even Phil Jackson had said some positive stuff about Jerry Krause, but like you could definitely tell there was bad blood between him. I mean, that's why it all fell apart was because he did not want like he was gonna fire Phil Jackson that last year, right?
I had no idea. I was like, why?
And
You're
the
winning.
owner
Why?
had to step in, right? Didn't the owner step in
Yes.
and say no? Like you got this last year at least. And see, that was the heartbreaking thing as a kid. I'm remembering. I remember my brother was telling me like, yeah, that's that Michael Jordan's retiring the second time because Phil Jackson's, he's not going to be part of the team anymore, and all this and that, and just like I remember hearing that and just being like heartbroken because I was one of the people swept up in the like Mike craze, like Chicago Bulls, like, you know.
Yeah,
I've
and
got a
again,
framed autograph picture of my or framed autograph photo of Michael Jordan. Is he making a layup or he's shooting? He's shooting, but yeah, I've got one that I got for Christmas one year.
in kindergarten or first grade, I don't remember which. Like I had my winter coat was reversible. It was reversible. It was one side was the Pacers, one side was the Bulls.
That's just fascinating. Like, like I that's you've told me this before, and I'm still fascinated by that. That's
And
just
this was
crazy to
this was
think of.
around that time too. This was around that time.
Yeah, yeah, that's just crazy to think. Because like here, I think they may have had that here with like, but it wasn't anything like fun like that. It was like one side's Dallas Cowboys and one side is uh Oklahoma University. Because we don't have we up until like 2008 we didn't have a professional sports team at all in any category, so we were all about boomer sooners, like college sports. Or
Right. And
you had people
well,
who like the
that
Cowboys here.
that was also around the time like the Cowboys were like the big team
Yeah, that's true.
for football.
That's true, yeah. I forget about that because it's just like, since I live so close to Dallas, like it's always been Cowboys here for the most part. Like even after after that boom in the 90s, it's you still see Cowboy stuff all the time here because that's the closest professional sports team we had up until 2008. So, yeah, that's just it's such a good documentary. There was a speculation on like, was Mike what's wrong with Michael Jordan because of his eyes? Did you ever notice
His
that?
eyes
Like,
were red. I thought he was high the whole fucking time. Like his eyes
well,
were
they weren't just red,
red.
there was some yellowness to them, I think.
I didn't catch illness. I just thought they were. I just saw they were red the entire time. Like man, he's high.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really cool to like, see like, hey, Michael Jordan, and it's like, oh, what would you think, talking about like certain things, and it's like, oh, well, here's this iPad, and now you get to see what Steve Kerr has to say, about this situation or whatever, and seeing like reactions on,
Right.
them
Which
hearing what
and
other people had to say.
that kind of thought was like,
You don't see in
and that made me
documentaries, really.
that made me think like, how many times did they go back to these people? Like how many times like to get that other footage so they could show like
I
how
mean,
many.
this was a big undertaking from what I could tell. Yeah,
Also, I
and
have
it
to.
shows. Yeah.
Was there a previous documentary about the Bulls last season? Because like they had all that footage because there was a film crew following Michael Jordan on his last season. What was done with that between then and now? Like, has that
I mean,
been
like
seen before?
every. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was just maybe not anywhere near as in depth, as as this is. Um, like I said, I've seen a lot. I've seen a bunch of documentaries on, the Dream Team. I think I even have some on Google Play. Come to think of it. Trying to look up my stuff real quick. But yeah, there's a lot of like, lot of interesting stuff in this. From like, oh, the infamous Michael Jordan punches Steve Kerr in the face during practice,
Mm.
which that's always been a story, and like, it was interesting to hear Steve Kerr talk about it, and he's like, that's just how intense Michael was. Like, he just like, and he just like, he understood. Like, you'd think like, oh, Steve Kerr dislikes my, but he's like, no, that's just like, the pressure gets to you, and you only accept greatness, and you have the world watching you, and and just it's just. It's just a fascinating documentary. I absolutely love it, and it's
Yeah.
it's gonna be
The
hard
thing,
to top
the
something like
thing that I
this.
really took away from that documentary was actually something that Dennis Rodman actually said. Was he said that he would play for free, but it's having to deal with everything outside of the court. That's what he's got to get paid for. Like, you know what? That's probably true for a lot of pro athletes. Like, they probably love to play, but God, everything outside of it sucks.
Oh yeah, and I mean, with Dennis Rodman, he definitely made it harder on himself than needed to be.
Oh, sure.
As you
And
could you could tell.
again, as somebody not who didn't watch basketball, like I thought Dennis Rodman was just
Apparently,
hated by everybody. Just because of just the outrageousness of what I witnessed from him. Just man, he's crazy. Everybody has got to hate him, right? Like, no, apparently he was like really good. I
oh
I
yeah,
didn't
he
really
was
realize like he
great
was really
back in the
good.
day. Yeah. Um, and apparently it's Madonna's fault he is who he is today.
According to that
I like
documentary, yeah.
that. According to him, he's like, yeah, Madonna taught me how to be myself or be, and it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And what was it? Carmen Electra was like when Michael Jordan was coming to bring Dennis Rodman back. Carmen Electra hid
Kid, yeah. Mm-hmm.
because she was afraid. That was pretty funny. Um, yeah, it was well done. That's probably one of my favorite things I watched this year. Is that documentary. I mean, I learned a lot of stuff. I got clarity on stuff that some of those things that you've heard about, but you never, you either never thought to look up more, like the whole Steve Kerr getting punched by Michael Jordan. Like I've always heard about that, but I never really either thought of looking more into that, thinking maybe there might not be that much because, back then, it's not like, people had smartphones where teammates could pull them out and record, altercations or anything like that, but
See, for
it's
me,
it's pretty
for
good.
me, it was the baseball thing. Like I was like, talk about the baseball because I'm like, how did that come about? Like that was what I was.
Oh
How
yeah.
did that happen?
I mean, his dad was killed, right? And
Yeah.
just he was in a place where, he was big into baseball, like, you know, he
Oh,
played
well,
baseball as
I
a
didn't.
kid and
I guess you know I didn't realize that baseball was already a big part of his life, and I just
yeah,
thought it was
yeah.
just like, oh, I'm done with basketball. Let's try baseball now. Well, I suck at this. Let's go back to basketball after we film a
I mean,
movie.
no, he was actually pretty good at it.
Yeah, like he wasn't
That's what
bad. He wasn't bad.
yeah. He he was
Which
he
which
was
that
I mean,
I always thought like, oh, he was bad at it. Like that was kind of the thing. Like I thought he was bad at it.
oh yeah, a lot of people think that, but no, he was actually pretty good at it, and it was interesting how they talked about it in the documentary. Like he was not the best at first because his body was built for basketball. Just because you're a good athlete at basketball doesn't mean your body is, you know, built for something like baseball. And I didn't really understand that until watching this. Like that does kind of make sense. Like you use different muscles and different.
Sure.
It's a totally different sport. Like it's just it was.
Which in
There's a
the
lot of
exact opposite
fascinating stuff.
it was the exact opposite was the problem when he came back.
Yeah, here we
Was
go.
he had
There there's a 1998 NBA champions Chicago Bulls documentary, and it's this 2014, I think. I own that on Google Play.
I wonder if a lot of that
So,
footage was used in both.
oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was I'm sure some stuff, but you gotta also think like this documentary that I'm talking about is only 56 minutes long, and this is like an 8-parter,
Oh,
right? The Last
10.
Dance. That's
It's 10.
10 parts. Okay, yeah, 10 parts that are like around that each part. They're
Yeah.
so like yeah, there's a lot. This used a lot of footage that has not been seen before, probably.
Oh, sure, but there was also a lot of interview stuff. So
Yeah.
which I swear, like a couple, like maybe weeks or months ago, I saw articles saying that Charles Barkley was pissed at this documentary for some reason, and I went back and tried to find those articles, and I couldn't. So I don't.
Well, I mean, Charles Barkley's always pissed at something. He's always pissed at something. To be honest.
So I was like, I don't. Somebody was pissed at this documentary, and I don't know who.
I mean, Charles Barkley, like, he's one of those players he was so good, and it's kind of a shame that because only one team can ever win a championship each year, and he never won. But he was so good, and it's just like, there are more players out there who are legendary who have never won versus the ones who have.
Yeah.
Just because you have 30 teams and only one can win each year. So yeah, I'm glad you watched it. Like it, like I said, it was was just well made. If you like documentaries in general, like you're gonna like this.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was like, because I like documentaries, so like that's kind of where I came that I kind of like this because it was well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can move on to something that you probably have seen and forgotten you've seen. If not, I'm shocked you haven't seen it because we talked about it last time. Umbrella Academy Season 2.
I have yet to watch it.
What the fuck?
I know. I don't know.
It came out the last time we recorded this, and you said you didn't start it because you don't want to stop. You had 2
like
weeks.
I said, like I really haven't watched much of anything these past 2 weeks for whatever reason. Like like I said, it's weird. Like I was just thinking of it like yesterday, like last night, like oh crap, we're recording tomorrow and I really haven't watched much of anything and I was planning on trying to squeeze a couple episodes in today, but I had stuff I had to take care of and couldn't swing it, but I'm interested to hear what you got to say about it though.
Boy, I can't wait for season 3.
Is there gonna be a season 3?
Oh God, I hope so, because that was one hell of a cliffhanger.
Okay, so they do leave it open. Gotcha.
Oh, it's not just open. It's you better fucking explain what just happened. You better explain that last scene.
That's a ballsy move for a show that's a Netflix original, because Netflix, they can be savage, and they can like...
Especially for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was a slow start, but it got there at the end.
Okay.
It definitely took a couple too many episodes for things to happen. But it's maybe not as action packed as say like the first season was. Oh no, actually, I think I got it now. Um, it's got some good moments. Um, kind of we're kind of repeat what from 2 weeks ago. Um, how season one ended. Um, number five took everybody and did a time jump. First time he did it with multiple people. And they ended up kind of in the 60s. But they arrived in at different times, like different years. So like they kind of are now spread apart because like they arrived and they were by themselves. So they went off and like, well, I'm stuck in the 60s. What else can I do? But now start a life now, I guess. So that's kind of what each one of them did, and it took too many episodes for them to get back together. That's kind of all I gotta say. That
I
took too
hate
many
that.
episodes.
Like that's a typical thing for when, for something for a show where like characters get separated for whatever reason and it typically does take them too long to get back together, and it's like why do you do that? Like I don't like that when in shows like that, where that situation comes up. It takes like half a season for them to all get back together or reunite or actually unite, stuff like that. Like, didn't it take like a long time for what was it, the Defenders, for them to actually get together? All
Yeah,
of
I
them.
want to say like they finally got together like on the last like the last like big push at the end. Like that was it.
Yeah, like there'd be like two of them together, and then two like, but to get them all together, yeah, it's just like that's the whole point, of something like a team like group is you want to see them together, for the most part. Yeah, I'll probably start this tonight for reals.
Well, you should. It's good. It's I again, man. I hope season three, because boy, would it suck to end like that, like real bad.
Have they not announced?
I'm kind of looking right now. Um, yeah, it's like has yet to make an official an announcement. So nothing
Yeah.
official yet.
Yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of speculations
Yeah.
on what a season 3 could be, and
Oh wait, here's something. Netflix has confirmed that you season three will premiere. What?
it's that like
So
show about like I think that's the show about like the stalker, the stalker guy.
oh yeah okay. So fuck no, that's not.
Yeah. Which the
Why
little
the
like
hell is
teaser, like
why
when
the
you
hell did that
hover
pop up
over it.
when? Why the hell when did that pop up when I looked up Umbrella Academy? Why did you show up?
Um, everything we know. As of 4 days ago, the third season hasn't been ordered yet,
Yeah.
according to
Oh,
an article I just looked at. So, I
hopefully,
mean, most likely it
hopefully.
will, because it seems like a very popular show that people like.
Yeah, but that hasn't stopped Netflix in the past. I mean, the only reason why, because like most shows on Netflix don't get a fourth season. Like a third season is very rare on Netflix, and most don't get a
Some
fourth.
shows don't even get a second.
Most don't get a second. Very few get a third, and even less have had a fourth. I think only House of Cards has had a fourth, and Stranger Things is getting a fourth.
There was that. I don't even know. They separate them by parts. Okay, so there's 8 parts. So yeah, the Ashton Kutcher show, The Ranch, got 4 seasons.
Oh, okay.
8 parts. So like 10 episodes each part. So yeah, that went on for a while. That wasn't a bad show, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
I knew
like
that did.
so few get 4 seasons. So hopefully this gets a third, because that was an ending. Another thing on Netflix that I watched was Warrior Nun.
You were talking about this, yeah. That you almost watched it last time, so now you have.
Yeah, I've totally watched it this time, and that has to be, and talk about a cliffhanger, the worst ending of any show on Netflix, just because of that cliffhanger.
Really? Wow.
Like, it ends. Okay, here's kind of a minor kind of spoiler. Okay, big bad guy is revealed at the end. Okay, good guy team lines up ready to fight. End of episode. End of season. Literally, it ends with the fucking standoff.
That reminds me of the ending of Angel.
I don't know if I've ever watched Angel enough to know what the ending.
They ended, spoilers for like, Angel, but they ended the series where it's like kind of like an apocalypse is happening, and it's like the 4 characters who are all like, like they're all worn out from fighting, and like just some of them look like they're on their last leg, and then they're just like, yeah, and then you start to see like, I believe you start to see like, more stuff is coming towards them, and then it just like ends like, and it's like, what? Like they
Yep,
resolved it
that's
in the
exactly it.
comics, I believe, but yeah, it's, I could definitely tell, yeah. That
Yep,
sounds, yeah.
it's kind of exactly what happens here. Like, what the fuck? What? No. That's where you end the episode before the last episode. It's not where you end the last episode.
Yeah, it's like, Netflix, you forgot to put out an episode.
Right.
Hello? You missed an episode.
Yeah, it's not bad. Warrior Nun is basically, there is a secret group of nuns that battle demons, and one of them, their leader, has embedded in them a angel's halo, and that gives them these abilities. And
This sounds like straight up anime. It sounds like
yeah,
anime.
well, I mean, this is all from a 90s comic. So,
Okay. By anyone of name?
see, it's called Warrior Nun. Oh, Ariella. Yeah, Warrior Nun Ariella. And it is, let's see, publisher Arctic Press, created by Ben Dunn.
Nah, I don't recognize that name.
Oh, you saw my anime. Holy shit. No, yeah. See, he did some stuff on the Marvel Mangaverse. He did Robotech, Captain Harlock. Like, fucking, that's anime. Dude wrote anime. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, he's Taiwanese. That's okay. So
Okay, because I know Netflix like bought the rights to Mark Miller's line of stuff, so I wasn't sure if like this was maybe part of that or not. I don't think we've actually
no,
seen anything come from that yet.
no. This is Arctic Press. I've never heard of that group. I don't know
Yeah, it's new to me.
Arctic Press. Um, but yeah, it's and yeah, things happen in like the first episode, like the previous owner of the Halo or the nun with the Halo in their back, she died, so it's got to be passed on. But they're actually under attack. So the person kind of runs away with it to get away from a bad guy and hides it in a dead body. Well, the dead body comes back to life. Turns out it was the dead body of a girl who was quadriplegic and is now is one, alive again, two, able to walk and move her arms and all that shit. And yeah, also not that religious. So really doesn't want to have anything to do with the church. So it's a history in that fact.
Okay.
But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's okay. And boy, is there some language in this as well. Like
Really?
I think,
Wow.
oh, they say fuck so many times an episode. Like holy shit.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, this is on my list to watch eventually.
Yeah,
No rush though.
it's there's no completion to like. There's a lot of things like I'm confused on what just happened. I'm just like you need a season 2 to explain what the hell just happened in a couple
See,
of
that's what I might do.
different
I might just
places.
wait.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll
Wait
get a
to see if
season
it
2
gets to
though.
season 2.
Don't know. Do not know how popular the Warrior Nun was. But speaking of anime, I did watch some anime. But not a new anime, and not even a new anime to me. It's one I have actually seen before, and went out of my way to rewatch this.
Oh, okay.
It's called Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. This came out a couple years ago, and I believe I've talked to you about this. Like when it came out, I know I did.
I may have seen this actually.
Well, it's an
Looking it up right
isekai
now.
where the
Yeah.
MC is OP, and it's also a harem anime. Um, the main guy he works for a game company that I was never given a name,
I
and
haven't seen
he's
this. Yeah.
doing
Okay.
okay. Um, okay, for somebody who hasn't seen this, then um, he's doing bug fixes on like multiple games, and like he goes to sleep at his desk one night, and wakes up in this world, not the game he was working on, but it's a different world. But he has like a HUD and everything, um, and he accidentally kills a dragon god. So he gets like 300 levels. So he goes from like level 1 to level 310. So he's like super overpowered and has like a bunch of skill points. And yeah. It's good. I enjoyed it. It's still in that window of I hope there's a season 3, because boy was this written like this should be a 25 episode anime, because that was not an ending, because like the main arc ended about 3 episodes before the end, and then it does a bunch, then it kind of ends with a bunch of filler episodes.
Some animes do that where they don't want to end on a they want to end on a lightheartedness, with like
Yeah,
filler
slime
episodes.
uh reincarnated as a slime did that too. But it was at least that one actually had like 25 episodes. I think it did. Well, either way, it actually at least ended that episode feeling satisfied. I got a story. This one, I feel like I've only got half the story.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I remember enjoying
But
it. For the most part, I like these isekai animes.
oh yeah, it's become my favorite genre over the years.
Yeah, I'm always pleased when there is an isekai anime and it's like not. It's got a twist to it. Some of them where there's a twist to it, where it's not just like generic isekai.
This one, I have my smartphone with.
Yeah.
That was another one I almost watched. It was in another world with my smartphone.
Have you not watched that one?
Oh yeah, no, I was going to watch it again,
Okay.
because like that
Okay.
was that
Okay.
was
I
that
was about
was
to
that was
say.
what I was doing. Like I wanted to watch an anime I'd seen before, but not one that I typically go back to, like Overlord um or Saga of Tanya the Evil. Like those I've gone back to multiple times. But like I wanted to watch one that I'd seen before and kind of liked. And just that, I just
Yeah.
remember just that scene of him accidentally killing a dragon god. That scene just kind of stuck in my head.
I can't think of the name. Have you ever? It did. Oh, yeah, there we go. I think that's it. Did you ever watch Demon Lord Retry?
If that's the one I'm thinking of, yeah, I did.
That was an interesting one.
Yeah, if it is what I'm thinking of, then no. Wait, did I? Have I seen this one? Yes, I have. Yes, I have seen this.
Where he's able to bring in elements from another, like he's able to bring elements from another like MMO game or
Right,
whatever.
like he brings his associates with him, and like one's like a nurse. Yeah, I've definitely seen
Yeah,
this one.
it's a more modern militaristic like game that he's able to bring into like typical
It's
fantasy,
fantasy world, yeah.
isekai world, and
Yeah.
yeah, it, that's another one where it's like, okay, it's an isekai, but there's a twist to it, to where it's not just generic, oh, I'm in this other world. Oh crap, oh hey, I have all these girls following me now. Great. I mean, I don't have a problem
That
with
tends to
those,
happen
but
though. That tends to happen though.
yeah, I do like the ones that there's a twist to it. Like Demon Lord Retry.
Well, I mean, how much
It's
of
not
a
really
twist though is
fair.
that really though? Like that's not. I mean, every isekai has its own thing. I mean,
Yeah.
like if you want to go a twist on the isekai, you're looking at Doctor Stone. Like that's a twist on the isekai, because it's also not quite
Is that
isekai,
really?
but it really is. It really is
Would you
isekai though.
consider that isekai? I wouldn't.
I
I
would though.
wouldn't,
I mean,
because
he is in a different world. It's the same world, but
but
it's
it's this.
different than what
It's
he
this.
left.
Yeah.
But it technically is like it hits those buttons of an isekai.
It's more of like a time travel thing.
But it's still the different world part of isekai. I mean, that's really the
I
definition
mean,
of isekai is different world.
I I like Doctor Stone a lot too. I mean, so yeah, sure, why not? Um, yeah, it's just it's a shame. There's a bunch that just like we're never gonna get the one about the chick who wants to build her defense up, right? No,
Yeah,
not that one. I'm thinking
I'm
of
gonna have to
that.
go to sub for
That's
that
not an
one.
isekai. But
No, it's not isekai.
what's the one I'm what's the one I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of I get that, and there's another one that I have to really think to not get them confused. I guess did one of the one where the girl wanted to be average, but
Oh, I
it
don't know
ended
if
up
that one
being
finished.
average of like the
The
toughest
dub or
dragon
not?
creature, and then
Right.
so she ended up being overpowered. Did that actually finish or not?
I don't know
I think
if the dub finished. I can't think of what the name of the show is.
that was a good one. I like that
And
one.
just
That was a
looking up
clever one.
average did not help.
It was something like I
Didn't
said
say
I
to
want to be
make my
average,
okay.
or
Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? 12 episodes. Dub.
okay, so it did
12
finish.
episodes
Okay,
sub. It did. This actually might have been
that's good.
before the whole thing happened.
Yeah, I think yeah, it was like right before, I think. So that was why I was a little like not sure. But yeah, I get that, and the for some reason I get that, and the uh defense one. Like I have to really think like which is which, because like
Booty footy.
it's just the names are just it's just the names. The names are always like, hey, I want to do this, or like just like or like, is it wrong to pick up a girl, or girls in a like I don't know. Some of the names are a little weird, and it's not. It's it's weird. Like it's weird how show like anime names, how they get their names for stuff like that, and it's like if a cartoon tried to name itself something like that over here, that would not work out. I don't think. I don't think you
I
can name a
mean,
cartoon. You
I mean,
know, some of these like
problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? That's just a sentence. That's just a question. That's just
I mean that yeah, that's a lot of them, you know. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Like even that name isn't
I
even like
couldn't become a hero, so I reluctantly decided to get a job. Like what? Like the title is just right there. Like the whole premise of the show is right in the
yeah.
title.
But yeah. Man, I miss
I mean,
anime. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to name off some more, just really long uh, anime titles. A boring world where the concept of dirty jokes don't exist. That's a very interesting anime. If you've ever seen that one, that
No.
one's just perverted as hell. It's yeah.
You've already talked about or we all we oh you just said yeah, I think you mentioned it the full title the time I got reincarnated as a slime. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of lengthy like names to these animes.
Yeah.
So it seems to be, you know, seems to be a more of a trend now. Which, you know, I don't care. Like it just doesn't matter to me what the names of these animes are. Uh oh, here's one that just completed that I'm like waited for it to complete. Uh my my next life as a villainess, all routes lead to doom.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been interested in that one.
I've been waiting for that one to like fully complete, you know, if at all. Which hey, that one came out around the same time as the like the defense one or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that one this one ended up completing. So
Yeah. There's some of them that I watched. I'm like I'm dubbed, and I'm like I'm gonna have to go to sub if I'm gonna finish these because it's been months and there's not been a new episode. But there's been new episodes about other shows. And when
gotcha.
you look
Yeah.
on like the simul dub on Funimation, not on the list at all.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna jump back into watching anime because I still need to finish the last the last thing of season or part or whatever of Sword Art.
Oh,
Alicization something war or
mm-hmm.
something. I forget the full title of it, but I think I watched the first episode of that last like part or season or whatever, and then I don't know. I just didn't get around to watching the rest, and then
Well, I'm all cut up now on Black Clover.
oh, you are okay.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you're ahead of me then.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
actually
I'm
like the
interested to
first
see where it
anime that I went
goes.
back to was and I wasn't like as far back behind as I thought I was. Like, and yeah, I totally
Gotcha.
did skip the recap
Of
episodes.
what you think of the whole? What was it the whole like the arc before, you know, where like they get possessed, all the wizards get possessed by the elves, right?
Oh yeah. Um.
And then it turns out to be that demon or whatever, and like just crazy stuff.
Well, that was back before that was I was caught up to that point.
Oh, you were caught up to that point? Okay. I
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
sure.
yeah. It was the aftermath of that. That's what I hadn't seen.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Like like the last episode that I literally saw was like at the end of it, where the Wizard King revealed himself to be still alive, but in child
Yeah, that was a
form.
shocker. Yeah, I was. Yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, I still need I still like 4 or 5 episodes behind, I think. So I definitely need to sit down and watch those. But I think the last thing I saw was like they were starting on their quest to try to save Asta from, because everyone blames him for the demon
Well,
stuff.
not everybody. Like they're
I mean,
using
the
him
people that matter,
as a
like,
scapegoat, as a
yeah,
scapegoat. They're
yeah,
using him as a scapegoat. That's what it
yeah.
really is. And they even said as much. You know, it's either we punish
Oh
you
yeah, it's
or we punish everybody who was uh, possessed.
yeah. Black Clover definitely is one of my favorite ongoings right now. I really do like it. I think I prefer it to over My Hero even.
I don't know if I got that far,
I know a lot of people.
but it's good.
Yeah, I know.
I do like it. Most people
It's,
couldn't get past the yelling,
yeah. See,
and
it's
that's why
it's
I don't
more
think it's
like
as popular as it is.
I like it a lot more, or I like it more than My Hero because it's got a very similar like fairy tale type vibe to it, where you are part of a like guild, and there's that like kind of communal family type vibe between the guild and stuff like that, and
I mean, My Hero has
you
that too.
definitely, yeah, it's just I don't feel it as much really. Like, I mean, that's just me personally, but and you start like in Black Clover, you start to see like them really get close and stuff like like recently, like in the show. I feel like so. Anyways, well, okay,
That's it. That's all
that's
I've
it.
really watched.
Um,
Yeah.
righty. I'll talk about one thing I watched. It wasn't like it. It was a web series, from Rooster Teeth. Um, Hardcore Mini Golf. I finally got around to watching that.
Oh yeah. That was interesting.
It was good. It was a little like if you're familiar with the Rooster Teeth personalities, then the people who are contestants, don't be surprised. Like, you know, like Lindsay, for example, was definitely Lindsay,
Yeah. Jeremy was
to the
Jeremy.
point of like,
Gavin was
yeah.
Gavin. Fiona was Fiona. Yeah, yeah.
There were some where it was like, okay, Blaine, he definitely like went outside of his norm
Yeah, a
with
little
the
bit.
whole like macho man thing. Like he really played into it. Like,
I mean, Chef Mike. I mean, come on. I mean, he also, even though
yeah,
yes, it was just kind of his first really thing into something like this, but I mean, he definitely played a character. I mean, it was angry, but it was definitely a character.
yeah. It's shame he didn't last too long.
Yeah,
Spoilers, I guess. But yeah, the Chris Bot thing was ridiculous.
I'm glad that didn't
I'm
go far much farther than it did, because that
I am I I love they tied Greg Miller into that for some reason. Like, that was that was pretty funny. Yeah, and then with the chilled chaos, all that stuff. I don't know if you saw, they came out with the like little. They came out with a video like this week where they like had a bunch of them like on a like Zoom or Discord call or whatever, and they were talking about their experiences and
Oh,
stuff like that, and then
the
they'd show
after
like
the after show kind of a thing, like they
yeah.
did with at the end of Haunter.
Yes, I could never really get into Haunter.
I really liked Haunter. Still haven't finished season 2, but I really liked it.
I've never liked those like ghost hunting shows, to be honest. So I guess that was my barrier, like to get into that. But yeah, the hardcore mini golf was fun. Watching some of the like there was some crazy stuff that happened, like some crazy shots. And some of the
Yes,
power ups, like when Gavin used the air horn on Trevor, and it not only knocked his
perfect.
ball out, giving him a penalty, but it moved Gavin like to where he could just put it in. Like
Right.
the hole in one Gavin made, where Jack was like, "Yeah, this is
The
impossible because I added
only
this
hole in
thing
one
here."
because I added a box and then hole in one. And was the only
And on
hole
that,
in one the entire show.
was it the only one? I don't think
No,
it was the only. It was
it
the
was
only $100 hole.
it was the only $100 hole. Yeah, there was
Yeah,
one other hole in one that was I don't know. I don't know. There might have been others, but they weren't on camera.
yeah.
There was one other hole in one. I think it was by Jeremy.
So I want to say Lindsay made one too. I thought. I don't know. Um, but yeah, and Jack even said like a lot of people thought they did the like commentary thing after that hole in one, and he was like, no, we did that like, and then the hole in one was made, like that was all real,
I
like
honestly did think that was outdone afterwards.
yeah, he definitely said a lot of people were thinking that, and he's like, no, that was all like in real time, like it was it was crazy, and it was a crazy hole. Like it was like what you would play on a like what you would do in a video game, like the way it bounces off and stuff like that.
It was perfect. Yep.
And poor Ryan, his costume was just, I think that's what did him in, was his costume was so much he had to deal with.
Yeah, especially in the rain.
Yeah.
Especially in the rain because it was raining during that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was interesting who won it overall. Like,
Yeah,
and it was fun to see
did
there was a
not
few
did not expect
overtime
it.
rounds.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did not expect who won to win. I don't want to spoil it because if anyone, if anyone's interested, they should definitely check it out because it's definitely enjoyable to watch, and it's not too much of a watch. Like there's like what like is there 8 parts or no? There's like six
I was
parts,
literally just looking at it.
something
There
like that. It's not
are 8.
8, yeah. And they're like what, like 30 minutes, 30 something minutes each, 40 minutes.
They're not. Yeah, they're not long. If
Yeah.
like 20 minutes, maybe 20 something minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting how like almost every time they would like go get the power up, unless like they didn't care. I want the power up. I don't care if I
Well,
can make the shot
absolutely,
in two. I'm gonna go get the
absolutely.
power up.
I mean,
And then I can't
content.
remember who, but one person was trying to get the power up, and then they got lined up to like right in front of the hole, and they were like, "Well, crap! Like I'm like inches away from this. Like It'd be such a waste to go get, and I think they actually just sank it in instead of getting the power up.
Might have been Blaine.
Yeah, it was a good it was good, especially because I've been back and forth playing golf with your friends because that's free on Game Pass, PC. I think regular Game Pass too, and that's a fun game.
Yeah, I've played
I've always liked
a
the
little
mini
bit of
golf
it.
games. Yeah.
I don't know how you're supposed to play that dunk mode. That seems like a bitch.
Yeah. I don't think I've tried that. But yeah.
It's literally think of like the normal holes on the course, but up here.
Oh.
That's it. Like, well,
I don't know.
how do I
How?
get from down here up there? And yeah, you have a jump,
Yeah.
but boy, you cannot aim that jump. That jump, yeah. Yeah, I've literally played it like once. I've played it like one one course regular mode, one course hockey mode, one course basketball. And I got like the whole two on the basketball mode, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I played a few different of the regular mode, a few different courses of the regular mode. It's fun. It's definitely. See, it's one of those games where I wish we had a bunch of people who could group up and play. Like
Yeah,
there's so many games like that where it's like, I want to get like a group to play Fall Guys. I want to get a group to play golf with your friends. I want to get a group to play like the Jackbox games, like all these party games, I want to these games that are designed to play with, a group of friends and just play and BS and, make jokes and just have fun. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that was one of the things I've been watching that was notable. So I guess let's wrap the show up. I gotta move this over here. Right, we're only with this 397 of the Geeks for the Win podcast. We're almost at 400. It's crazy to think. That's a big number, you know.
it is indeed.
We'll be hitting that in first week of September. So, nothing planned yet, but hopefully maybe, I don't know. We'll see. You can find all previous episodes at thegeeksftw.com, including links to our Twitch, YouTube, Discord, and Twitter. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at thegeeksftw. Stuart is at Casual Terror, and I'm at Geeky William because we're streaming. I'm streaming more often now. Stuart's streaming, starting to
Yep.
stream again. So definitely we tweet out whenever we're going live streaming, and of course, you can watch the podcast live if you want.
Yeah.
We do that typically every Friday around what time do what like
I
5:30
I
or
have
no
it.
6:30 Eastern ish.
That's the time I have in my schedule on Twitch. It is
They end up being
6:30
like
Eastern.
7. Sometimes you forget and you're
Sometimes,
like, oh
yeah.
crap, I need to.
Well, sometimes we just get into so much of what we're talking about pre-show that we just uh
Yeah.
we forget to start. And I
I don't
have
know
no
what that
idea what that
says
guy
in the
in chat is
chat.
saying. I have no idea what that guy is
Yeah.
saying.
Sorry, we don't understand that. I'm like looking it up to see if like we can get a translation if it's like something offensive or not. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for listening / watching. If you're watching the YouTube video or if you make it to the show live. And we will catch you next time.
And remember, no animals were harmed making this podcast.